Welcome back to Tiny Things. Today, we are diving into one of the history's strangest and deadliest disasters. December 1952. London, the city of fog. For centuries, London's mist inspired poets and painters, even becoming part of its charm. But this time, the fog wasn't romantic. It was deadly. Over just 5 days, a yellow smoke descended, choking the capital and killing thousands. This is the forgotten story of London's killer fog. The winter of 1952 was brutally cold. People of London turned to their coal fires for warmth. But not all coal was equal. The cheapest available, known as nutty slag, was low quality, smoky fuel. Factories added their share of soot, and new diesel buses added clouds of exhaust into the air. London's skies filled with invisible poisons. Then, nature trapped the city. A high-pressure weather system created a temperature inversion. Cold air lay close to the ground, capped by a lid of warmer air above. Normally, smoke rises and disperses, but this time, the smoke stayed put. The stage was set for disaster. On December 5, 1952, a thick yellow-brown fog rolled across London. Visibility dropped to just a few meters. By nightfall, some people in London said they could not see their own feet, and one visitor said it felt like being blind. London citizens were used to fog, but this one was unusually thick and long-lasting. Public transport collapsed. Only the underground kept running. Ambulances couldn't operate, and people had to get themselves to the hospitals. On the surface, policemen lit flares to guide buses. Drivers abandoned cars in streets, unable to see through the poisonous air. Theaters and concerts closed, not just because of the fog outside, but because inside auditoriums the smoke seeped in, and audiences could no longer see the stage. What began as inconvenience turned into tragedy. The fog carried sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and soot. Breathing it was like inhaling acid. Hospitals overflowed with patients struggling for breath. Funeral homes ran out of coffins. Even prize cattle at the Smithfield Agricultural Show suffocated, their owners improvising makeshift gas masks out of wet sacks. By the time the fog lifted on December 9, at least 4,000 residents of London were dead. But the real horror came later. Researchers discovered the true toll was far worse. Between 10,000 and 12,000 lives cut short, with more than 100,000 made ill. Unknown number of people were affected with breathing problems and lung cancer. The dead were the young, the elderly, and those with weak lungs, the ones least able to protect themselves. At first, authorities hesitated to admit the scale of the disaster. London had always been foggy, Surely this was just another piece of work. But as weeks passed and deaths mounted, it became impossible to ignore. The killer fog was not natural, it was man made. The outrage led to change. In 1956, the British government passed the Clean Air Act. Coal burning in cities was restricted, and smokeless zones were introduced. Slowly, the sooty London sky began to clear. Later, smoke occurred, but never again with such deadly force. Yet the story isn't over. Today, London still battles air pollution, this time from cars and industry rather than coal. Experts estimate that thousands die prematurely every year from breathing toxic air. Today, measures such as the ultra-low emission zone are designed to safeguard the air, reminders of the hard lessons learned back in 1952. The Great Smog of 1952 remains one of the deadliest environmental disasters in history. Yet it's often forgotten, overshadowed by wars and politics of the same era. But its lesson is timeless. The air we breathe is invisible, easy to take for granted, until it turns against us. So the next time you see a foggy day, remember London's killer fog. Not as a quirk of weather, but as a warning about the deadly cost of polluted air. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.